Hi friends, welcome to Cindy's Corner. Hey, today we're going to be making a lovely appetizer that is very cute and could be used for a variety of purposes. Definitely as an appetizer, also as a plate decoration. It's kind of like food art, but it's very simple and easy to do. So, you know what a caprese salad is, so it always involves basil, fresh mozzarella, and tomato. So we're going to make it into something really cute. So on my plate, I've already got my fresh mozzarella slices, okay? Now, these at your grocery store comes in a package like this. Now, this particular one has thin slices, so you can check out what kinds they have, the regular thick slices, thin slices. I noticed that my store has, this is quite like a large log, which would be great for a huge platter, but they also have smaller logs too. So you can pick what suits your purposes, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to first take our mozzarella slices and we're going to give them some salt because they are very mild, and a little seasoning definitely helps with the flavor. Plus, it can give your plate a little bit of decoration too. So let's do that. Now we have our star of the show is the grape tomatoes. So you will need these. So you pick the size tomato that kind of looks like it could sit. This is going to be your ladybug, so it's going to sit on your mozzarella slice. Now I also have to pick through my basil and find some leaves that will look appropriate on my mozzarella slice. Now, if they're a little bit too big, that's okay. It's not gonna be a problem. So I'm just gonna put that down on top of here. Let's see if I can get a medium. Here's one. Gosh, this basil smells so good. When you can get fresh basil, it is a wonderful thing. Okay, so now we've got our leaves on here. So this is what the ladybug is going to sit on. So what we do is we take our grape tomato. We're going to slice it in half, pole to pole. So we've got our two halves, like this. Now we're going to take one of the halves and we're going to cut a slit in it. So about a third, maybe a little more than a third, is what you're going to shoot for. And what you're going to do after we slice it is we're going to take the little slit and we're going to open it up a little bit, and that helps to form the ladybug's wings, okay? So then we're going to put that onto our leaf. You want to make sure that the slit, here, let me do that again, where we just pull that apart a little bit so that it's open. Okay, I need one more. Let's see, I can get a good size one for that other one. So let's cut that in half, make our little slit. Actually, okay, one thing I want to note. So this is where the stem was. So the fatter end is the opposite end. That's where I want to cut the slit. Okay, we're going to open her up. Okay, and then we're going to place that onto our leaf. Okay, all right, so this is what we've got at this point. I don't know if you can see where it's open for the wings. Okay, now to make the head of the ladybug, we're going to take a black olive. So this is pitted black olive. Now, depending on the size of your grape tomatoes, you may have to cut this down a bit. So first we're going to slice it in half, pole to pole. Then we're going to cut it in half across the equator, and the smaller end, let me put this in my hand so you can see, the smaller end is going to be the nose. So basically we're just going to put that on the front of the ladybug. You'll have to check the size to see if it's something that you need to trim down. Like this one I think is a little too big. I'm going to have to trim that a little bit, cut a little bit off, and I think that will be better. Okay, and then this one, we're going to cut across the equator. you can see this is pretty simple and pretty forgiving, and oh, that's way too big. Okay, we're gonna have to cut that one down. Okay, let's see how that is. Okay, that's better. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so now we've got the ladybugs sitting on the leaf with their head. Okay, now we got to make the spots. So to make the spots, whoops, we're going to use balsamic glaze. This is what balsamic glaze looks like. This is wonderful stuff. I put this on top of all my salads. It's delicious. It is a glaze, so it's kind of sticky, which works perfect for this application. Now, I got these little squeeze bottles on Amazon, and that's what I'm going to use. But you could also use just a toothpick. So basically what we're going to do, let me come up to the camera, we're just going to squeeze little dots on the back of our ladybugs. You can decide how many. And because the glaze is sticky, it adheres really well. Okay, so you see how this is making, let's get the last one over here. So we're just going to make the little dots. I would be not trying to make them too big because they might drip down, okay? Now I'm going to tip this a little bit carefully so you can kind of see how the ladybugs look with their dots. And there we go. That is our finished product. Now, can you imagine putting this as a decoration on a whole platter of caprese with the, tomato slices, mozzarella slices, and basil? This would be so cute. But look how cute this is just as an appetizer. Or if you had a whole platter of these. Because there's nothing attached here, I would kind of pick these up like a taco. But this is such a cute idea. I hope you'll give it a try. So you take care, and I will see you soon.